There's so much music out in the world, so that's why I am reviewing a new album every single day, and today is going to be Boy in Jeans by Ryan Beatty. This is his 2018 solo debut album, and admittedly, when I first heard this album, I think I listened to it back in 2019 or 2020, I wasn't a massive fan of it. It took several listens for me to come around to it, but honestly, now I pretty thoroughly enjoy it. I think the blending of a lot of genres, like some soul, some alternative R&B, pop, dream pop, all the different subgenres that he kind of taps into on this are actually really well done. And Ryan Beatty hits a lot of really nice vocal notes that I think just are really satisfying, and he carries his own really well. I had heard of him because of his contributions to Brockhampton and his appearances on a couple of their albums over the years, and finally gave him a shot, and I have to say this is probably my favorite project from him, although I admittedly haven't given his newest record, Calico, a proper full deep dive. I've only kind of passively listened to it. There's really no tracks I don't like on here. There's a couple elements that aren't my favorites, like for instance on Speed. It was just the first half. Would have loved it, would have been one of my favorites, and I think that first half is so well done. Super catchy, super smooth vocal performance from Ryan, and just the second half just doesn't feels complete. Personally, I think the instrumentation on it is a little bit lackluster, but otherwise across the whole project, I love the bass guitar that is across the entire album. The percussion, the drums on here is super soft and very gentle, but yet the presence that it brings is really nice, and obviously without that it would have felt very hollow. My top three favorite tracks are going to be Bruise, Party's Over, and Power Slide. Bruise is pretty early on, and I think that this might be next to Party's Over. I think is probably one of the catchiest songs on here. But overall, this is a pretty fair length album. It's just about 50 minutes, and I think that it flows perfectly. I think that Ryan Beatty had a really nice lane that he carved for himself, just off of his first album, and while I do think Dreaming of David, his second album, didn't necessarily live up to the hype of this one, in my personal opinion, I think that, this just created a really nice pathway for him to go off of. I would rate my enjoyment about a 72%. If you have an album that you think I should review next, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.